What's up, folks? It's the Sportsbook Killa. UFC Vegas 91 this Saturday, April 27th. Do not miss it. Let's get right to the card. Matthias Nicolai is going up against Alex Perez. These are the flyweight men's division. Matthias Nicolai, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt, very hard puncher, and he has very good takedown defense. Alex Perez, he's a pressure fighter. He has great wrestling, good takedowns, and phenomenal cardio. The fight should be relatively close. Nicolau, his style I normally don't like to bet on. He likes to dance around and run around and then all of a sudden catch a guy with a nice shot and knock him out. I normally don't like that, but against Alex Perez wrestling, oftentimes he doesn't use it against certain opponents. I don't know if he's going to use it this time or not, but I think Nicolau will be hard to take down because of the way he moves. So I'm going to lean Matthias Nicolau on this one. I won't bet a whole lot, but I will bet a little something on him. And I'm also going to bet that the fight starts the second round and that the fight starts the third round on DraftKings. Next fight, we got the light heavyweights. Ryan Spann going up against Bogdan Guskov. I can tell you already, I'm not touching Ryan Spann. Ever since I bet on Ryan Spann and when he fought Anthony Smith, and in that third round, he had Anthony Smith's eyeball basically hanging out his head, and he would not throw a jab or do anything. And Anthony Smith was just standing in front of him waiting to be finished, and he did absolutely nothing. I promised myself I wouldn't bet on this guy again. Also, he's run out of gas in fights when I bet on him in the past, so I can't rock with Ryan Spann. Sorry about that. I'll be going with Bogdan Guskov, and that will be an upset pick. I like Bogdan Guskov's power. He has a very high, I believe 87% knockout rating. The guy is a good kickboxer. He's good at grappling, and he's a versatile striker. I'm going to go with Bogdan Guskov on this one, and I'll probably take the under 2.5 round prop, because even if these guys don't finish each other, due to cardio issues, I can imagine one of them not being able to continue on and make it the distance. So I'll probably put just a little something on the under 2.5 round prop on this one and take Bogdan Guskov to win. Next fight, we got the flyweights. Flyweight female division. We got Ariane Lipski going up against Karine Silva. Ariane Lipski has really, her fight game has really come together lately. She's doing pretty good. She's a Muay Thai black belt. She's a Muay Thai national champ as well. She's a jiu-jitsu purple belt, and she trains at ATT. So I don't expect her to be a rollover for Karine Silva. It's almost even with the betting odds. It's almost even. Karine Silva is a jiu-jitsu purple belt as well. She's a very hard puncher, versatile striker. But one thing I love about Karine Silva is her takedowns and her ground game. She has a really good ground game and very good takedowns. Lipski has good takedown defense, but I do believe Karine Silva will outmaneuver and get her to the ground. So I'm going to go with Karine Silva to win that. And I'm also going to do the prop bet with DraftKings. The fight starts the second round, and that the fight also starts the third round. Next fight, we got the heavyweights, Austin Lane versus Honata Denise. Austin Lane has very powerful body kicks, very powerful. He's a very hard puncher, kind of a weak chin, but very hard body kicks. I love his body kicks, no question. Honata Denise is new to the UFC. In previous fight leagues, he's KO'd pretty much everybody. He's had all first round KOs. Now, I'm sure anybody that's listened to me knows how I feel about these new to UFC guys that have all these KOs in the first round. We don't know what he looks like outside of the first round, so I can't bet too heavy on him. Wouldn't be smart. I will take the under 2.5 round prop, and I'm going to go with Honata Denise. And what made me go with that is because Austin Lane got knocked out by, what's my guy, the football guy, Greg Hardy. I just can't. No, Greg Hardy beat him. I just can't do it. And he's just coming off that knockout from Justine Taffa, so he might still be a little shook up. But I'm going to go with Honata Denise because he does have the he does have KO power, and he is a kickboxer. Can't bet too heavy on him because, like I said, I haven't seen him outside of the first round. Next fight, we got the welterweights. Tim Means, the Dirty Bird Tim Means, going up against Uros Medic. The sports books have Uros Medic minus 230, meaning you got to give up over 2-1 odds to take Medic. I'm going with the upset. I think Tim Means has the skills to go in there and beat Uros Medic. He has good takedowns. He's a versatile striker. He has kicks that come from all angles, and he has good takedown defense. Not that he's going to have to worry about being taken down in this fight. But I do like Tim Means in this fight. He has a path to victory. He is 39 years old, so I'm a little concerned about his age, but Tim Means can still throw down. So I'm going to take Tim Means over Uros Medic, and I'll place a small wager on the fight lasting over 1.5 rounds. Next fight, we got the bantamweights. Honey Yaya going up against Victor Henry. I don't know if y'all remember Victor Henry, but in his last fight against Basharat, he got kicked in between the legs, and a serious testicle issue, had to be rushed to the emergency room. I hope all of that has calmed down and everything down there is okay for him so he can get me this money. Honey Yaya is a really good jiu-jitsu black belt, and he's a Muay Thai black belt. Only problem is he has a weak chin, his boxing is rather weak, and he has very weak takedowns. So he's great on the ground, but it's a nightmare trying to get him to get somebody to the ground. Victor Henry is a jiu-jitsu black belt as well. Victor Henry is also a taekwondo black belt, and he has great takedown defense and very good cardio, and he has a strong chin. So I'm going with Victor Henry. To bet on Victor Henry, you got to give up 6-1 odds because he's coming in at minus 600. So under normal circumstances, I would even think about taking the underdog, but I just don't see a path to victory for Hani Yahya. I mean, he's going to continue going for takedowns and exhausting himself, and then he'll probably either get knocked out or either submitted himself, or he'll probably get knocked out or lose a lopsided decision. That's all I see happening in this fight. So I'll go with Victor Henry, and DraftKings has something called the spread bet where you can give up 3.5 points, basically meaning Victor Henry has to win the fight by more than 3.5 points on the judges' scorecards. And usually that's not as heavy as the actual money line. So if I can get that to say minus 325, that would be better. So I'll try and do that. But otherwise, I'll have to put Victor Henry in a parlay at minus 600, meaning I got to give up 6-1 odds. But Victor Henry's the pick, and I'm also going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round. Next fight, we got the lightweights. Austin Hubbard going up against Michael Figlack. This particular fight, I'll just give you guys the ballistics on it. Austin Hubbard is a very versatile striker. He has good takedowns. He has a strong chin. Michael Figlack, he's a versatile striker as well, but he's a pressure fighter. He likes to push the pace, and he has a good ground game, but he hasn't won in the UFC yet. These two guys, for me watching all of their fights, most of their fights rather, they both look kind of even talent as far as I can see. So I won't be betting on either one of these guys. You know, you guys can draw your own conclusions on that, but I will go with the over 1.5 round prop. I can't see this fight lasting longer than a round and a half. So no pick for me on this fight, but I will bet on the over 1.5 round prop. Next fight, we got the heavyweights. Dontel Mays going up against, how do I see it? Chao Machado, or Kai Machado, whichever. I don't know. I've heard him pronounce it two different ways. I'm going to ride with Dontel Mays on this one, but I've never been too crazy about the way this guy fights. I'll be honest with you. So I won't be putting much on him, but I will take Dontel Mays to win this one. I think his kickboxing will get him over the hump. He'll probably win a really close decision. Machado's okay, but everything I've seen him do so far in the cage has been slow. He doesn't look fast at all. None of his moves look crisp. So I'm going to go with Dontel Mays to edge out a decision here. Won't go too heavy on him because I don't like his fight style. And I also put a little something on this fight making it to the second round. Next fight, we got the strawweights. Marnik Mann is going up against Caitlin Souza. I didn't see much in either one of these fight games to say. For one, I could see Caitlin Souza edging out a decision win. I could see that. Marnik Man, if she could get the fight to the ground, that does increase her chances of winning. Every now and then I've seen her fight somebody where she'll kind of get him to the ground and wear him down. I don't think that'll happen against Souza, but I'm not totally confident in Souza either. Marnik Man she's tiny. She's about 5 feet tall, and Souza's gonna look like the bigger, taller fighter in there. I like Souza because she's a hard striker. She has very good takedown defense, and she's a pressure fighter. So I'm gonna go with Caitlin Souza. Can't go too heavy on her because, like I said, she doesn't look all that strong to be 3-1. But I will go with Souza over Marnik Man, and I'll be taking the over 1.5 round prop, and I'll be taking I'll throw a little something on the over 2.5 round prop as well, because I can see this fight lasting maybe to the third round or going the distance. I can see that. Next fight, we got the featherweights. Now this is a fight I can't wait to see. We got Jonathan Pierce going up against David Onama, and this is going to be a fight. I'm riding with Jonathan Pierce on this one. He's a jiu-jitsu purple belt. He has very good takedowns. He has phenomenal grappling and a great ground game. Very strong chin. I've seen him hit with some really powerful shots, and he don't even budge. David Onama, he's a jiu-jitsu blue belt. He's a versatile striker as well. I mean, he's a very hard striker. And he has a strong chin too. He can take a shot. A little bit of cardio issues though. And his ground game is not the best. It's a little on the weaker side. So, and Jonathan Pierce is just a relentless wrestling, grappling, take him down, hold him down kind of guy. I like that kind of guy when I got my money riding on it. So I'm gonna be putting my money on Jonathan Pierce in this one. He's coming in at -175 now, money line. So you got to give up just under 2-1 odds to take him. And I'll also bet on the over 1.5 round prop. I see Jonathan Pierce taking Onama down and just draining him, just draining his energy, and then either getting a stoppage in the third round or winning off a decision. So Jonathan Pierce is the pick, and over 1.5 rounds. Next fight, we got the females, the flyweights. Ivana Petrovic going up against Liang Na. This fight is very interesting because I'm looking at the money line, and they have Ivana Petrovic at -520, and some sports books have her -600, meaning you got to give up 5 or 6-1 odds on the money to bet on Petrovic. I've looked at her fights. I don't see her as a 6-1 favorite over anybody. I really don't. I'm not impressed with what I've seen. Liang Na, she seems to have cardio issues. She can grapple, though. She can wrestle. She can really wrestle. She has a weak chin, though. She's been knocked out a few times. And if I was going to bet on this fight, which I may not, I would throw a little something on Liang Na. She's at +390. You get almost 4-1 odds on the money. And if her wrestling shows up, she could easily win this fight over Petrovic if it shows up. But she's more likely to probably run out of gas and get knocked out. So, unless you want to give up 6-1 to bet on Petrovic, I would probably stay away from this fight. Otherwise, like I said, I might throw a little small, tiny little bet or a little cheesy parlay with Liang Na in there to see if she can pull off the upset. And I'm also going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round. So, next fight. We got Gabriel Benitez going up against Maishate. I can't never pronounce this man's name. Gabriel Benitez is like a human punching bag. Every time I see him in a fight, he's getting busted up, beat up, and run down and taken down. And he's always just on the defense, just fighting for his life from what I've been seeing. Yeah, he's had some success, but he's 35 years old. And I'm going to go with the 23-year-old Maishate to win this fight. Maishate has a strong chin. He has KO power. He's a very hard puncher. He took out Steve Garcia with one punch. This guy can hit, and he's only 23. So, and he's coming in right now, money line -205. So you just got to give up 2-1 odds on the money, and you got Maishate. So I'm definitely going to take him over Gabriel Benitez. And I could see the fight going over a round and a half because Benitez is kind of tough. So I'll say I'll put a little something on the fight going over 1.5 rounds and a little less on the fight going over 2.5 rounds. But Maishate is the pick. Next fight, we got the lightweights. James Yanta Yontop going up against Chris Padilla. I looked at a lot of their fights. I cannot pick a winner in this one. I don't see either fight. I'll give you all the ballistics, and you can do whatever you want to do with them. James Yontop is a very versatile striker. He's a hard striker, and he hits and kicks very hard, and he has very strong leg kicks. This is his UFC debut. Chris Padilla has really good boxing, very good takedowns, very good wrestling, and very good ground and pound. This is his UFC debut as well. My bet for this fight is going to be that it starts the second round and that it starts the third round. So those will be my picks for UFC Vegas 91. My advice to anybody that's doing parlays or betting, mix your parlays up. 2-pick parlays, 3-pick parlays, all those crazy scrolls with 13 and 9-pick parlays. Do all that stuff with minimal amount of money so you're not losing so much. I see this so much in the sports book, guys, with these long parlays, and they always say, man, I just missed by one. You know, do your 2- and 3-pick parlays. Start with your 2-pick parlays. Start with your straight-up bets first, then your 2-pick parlays, then add your 3-pick parlays. And as you keep going up, you just reduce the amount of money you betting because you're getting a bigger payoff. You don't have to bet so much. You know, you don't have to go for the home run all the time. So those are my picks for UFC Vegas 91. Good luck Saturday, folks.